we have a variety of devices that we need to use to achieve that. Therefore, we need to learn how to categorize these different devices when we use them. At the same time, we need to know the functions of these devices one after the other. We are not going to look at all the devices and finish them, but there are some crucial devices that we must know as a basic computer user, or those ones that basically make up what we refer to as a desktop computer, a laptop computer, a tablet, because we discussed all those last week, much as we were being disturbed by the connectivity. There is a figure I'm going to display. I want you to take note of that figure. And I'm saying we are going to discuss and identify the use of each of the device labeled as whether input, storage, output, communication, or processing. You're going to determine as we are going to be discussing. So the diagram is there. I want you to look at that diagram clearly. I want you to look at that diagram. If possible, you can take a screenshot because we are going to do some activity. I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are only 6 devices that we have listed, but we could have many others. Okay. So, first of all, there is a device that is going to be listed, and then we find out the category. And the categories are up there. Is it input? Is it output? Is it storage? Is it communication? Is it processing? You will have to defend your answer. Why you're saying it is input, why you're saying it is output, why you're saying it is storage. Okay. What am I missing? Is there something I'm missing? There's something I'm missing. There's something I'm missing. Because I'm not seeing my table. I'm not seeing my table. Where is my table? Okay. Okay, fine. There we go. There we go. I have named the device on the right-hand side. Let us try to categorize and defend your answer. Why are you categorizing it as that? Madam Beatrice, are there some hands up?
Yeah, there is someone raising up a hand.
Okay.
And Gloria. And Gloria.
Teacher, me I'm placing print as output device because it prints information on a sheet of paper and then brings it out. I think it's an output device.
Okay. Thank you.
Ruth Nakimuli.
Teacher, the monitor is an output device because it's used for displaying information.
Thank you. Renita?
The keyboard is an input device because it's used for typing in the information into the computer.
Thank you. Natasha?
Madam, that was my answer.
Okay, thank you very much. Ferguson? Ferguson? Your network is not clear, please. We are not getting you. Ferguson? Okay. Maria, peace. I'm seeing your hand up.
System processing the because it results.
Whose is an input device?
I have
I
not
don't know
got that
whether
one
it is my
clearly.
network. I don't know whether it is my network, but I've really not gotten your point. May you please come again? Maria? Mr. Charles, did you hear our point?
No, I didn't. Our network was, I think, not clear.
Okay, I think let us hear from another person. Catherine Nambozo.
Speakers.
What about speakers?
Because they bring out sound from the computer.
The procedure was, you mention a device, you tell us its function, and then you back it up with a reason. So if you say speakers and then you give a reason, you didn't tell us. Is it an input device, output, or
out?
So, Catherine, you said speakers. What about speakers?
Output.
Okay, I've had.
Natasha?
Madam,
Yes, Natasha?
The mouse is an input device because it helps you to move the cursor which is in the computer.
Yes, Anfield. Anfield, please unmute.
The system.
Come again.
The system unit is a storage device.
Why?
Where the storage in the system.
Anfield wasn't clear. Anfield wasn't clear. I haven't heard.
Anfield, please come again. We did not get your point.
It is done in a system unit. So, a system unit is a storage device.
The only thing I'm getting is a system unit. I'm really not getting other words from you. Maybe let us hear from Tumsime, and you're the last person, I think. Tumsime.
which monitor or stroke activities done on the monitor are stored within the system unit.
Okay, Mr. Charles, I think that's.
There is I didn't hear what Asime said. I just only heard what came at the beginning, at the end, not at the beginning. Okay. I don't remember who submitted something about the system unit. Where do we position the system unit? I've also added something else down here, a floppy disk. I want to find out whether members know what a floppy disk is. Okay, system unit. In the chat, we had Owo Jonan, who mentioned that a speaker is an output device because it is used to generate sound, which is very right. Okay, now system unit, and then the floppy disk. System unit, and then the floppy disk. System units. System units. I had someone mentioning something about the system unit. Okay, Ruth has typed in the chat. But I wish Ruth.
I'm seeing people's hands up. Mr. Charles?
You can pick. Yes, pick them.
There is someone who. Then let us hear from 5. 5.
Floppy disk is a storage device.
Why?
Give us a reason why.
Why is it a storage device?
Like information is put on it, like for storage to store.
Okay. Thank you, 5.
Okay. Then we are.
I think that's the only hand we had.
Okay. Okay. Someone already mentioned that the 60 minutes is a processing device. And why do we categorize it as a processing device? Can we get some answers? Why processing? Why processing? Is Faith's hand up? Faith, do you want to give us an answer? Okay. We have dropped the hand. Why processing? We need an answer. Processing device. Okay, Maria, please. Maybe she's in a, she can type, type. 60 minutes is the processing device. Because it has a CPU. What is CPU in code? Can someone tell us what CPU is code? Can someone tell us what CPU is in code? Yes? Nakajito?
Central Processing Unit.
Okay, thank you. Because it has a central processing unit, which helps to process instructions and give output. That is what Maria has typed in the chat. So in simple terms, she's telling that whatever is entered as input is taken somewhere to the central processing unit.
together with the instructions, activities take place, and then output is received onto these devices that we identified as output devices. Probably the output would be on the monitor, the output would be through the speakers, the output would be through the printer. I would like to thank whoever talked about the properties. The properties is not something that is common today. And whoever answered it rightly, because today we only see properties, we are seeing some of us have not even seen a hard disk, but we believe that the hard disk is there. So truly, you might not in this modern world today, you might fail to see a floppy disk being used. But you will definitely see the other parts of storage that are very common. Okay, thank you. We have filled up these devices in the table as they are. And then let us see how we can progress. Michelle says, excuse me, teacher, but could you please raise your voice? Michelle, I'm shouting. I even believe I'm talking on top of my voice. Michelle, just increase the volume. Just increase the volume of the device you're using. Either it is a phone or a laptop. Increase the volume because my speaker volume is at 100%. Don't know that I can increase it beyond 100%, and then we get to 200%. It will not allow me to do that. Okay. Okay, let us proceed. Let's proceed and look at something else. So we have looked at these different categories of software as we have mentioned them in the table as a result of looking at the other image that I displayed earlier on. And we are saying that we categorize hardware devices according to their function. And indeed, you've been able to categorize the devices according to their function because when you mention the keyboard, you are able to tell us a keyboard is input. Therefore, what does input do? And we are saying input allows us to enter data into the computer. And the moment you enter data into the computer, other processes follow. For example, processing can follow. Editing of work can follow. etc. So input devices enter data into the computer. Then we also looked at, or you mentioned hardware of the category output, and we are saying output produces, displays information which can be in a form of a soft copy or a hard copy. Now, somewhere, somehow, I'm going to ask you to help us understand those two terms. I'm not going to mention anything about those two terms. I want you to tell us at an opportune moment which is coming. So output produces, displays information in soft copy or hard copy. Then you mentioned another category. And that category are the storage devices. Devices that are used for storing data, devices for storing information, and we store for future use. And these devices can be inside the computer, that is their internal, or they can be external. Which devices are internal? Which devices are internal? Which devices are internal? Do we know those that are internal that we use for storage? And we get some answers. If you know those devices that we use for storing internally inside the computer. Have you ever heard of any? Yes. Shalom.
Folders.
Folders. Okay. We are not going to classify folders as devices, because a device is something we touch and feel. And we cannot touch and feel a folder. A folder is some form of software or instruction. Okay? Any other try? Any other try? Okay, Shadow Mwaka.
Like a compact disc or a pen drive.
Compact disc or a pen drive. Okay, thanks for your answer. Okay, let us take those as external. You've mentioned those that are external things. Now, the external things, the internal ones. Jonan?
Drive.
Beg your pardon?
Hard drive.
Okay, thank you. Hard drive. Okay, some people might decide to say hard drive. Other people might decide to use the word hard disk. So those are the ones that store data, information internally. Whereas someone mentioned pen drive and compact disk as and so we are saying storage devices can be looked at in terms of the methods used to store data on the web. And we are asking the question, can you compare a flash disk and a CD? Do you know which method is used to store data on a flash disk as opposed to a compact disk? Is there someone who can try? Is there someone who can try to tell us which method is used to store data on a flash disk? And which method is used to store data on a compact disk. Any attempt? Any attempt? Dumo? Yes.
Burning or moving files to the compact disk.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit more about that burning? So someone can ask, burning? Are you burning a piece of paper? Explain a little bit more.
Burning is the process of moving. You may not necessarily move, but you may put a copy of what you have in your computer on the CD. That's what burning is.
Okay. When the process of burning is taking place, what exactly, if you know, how is this information transferred from the memory of the computer onto the physical disk? Do you have an idea?
Yes. Now, like, you have to put maybe the CD. It even depends on the computer you're using. Maybe using a laptop, or you may be using these computers, which are like in the internet cafe. Now, there are some things which you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to like leave that program of burning or transferring the file from the computer to the CD. The startup is that you may maybe long press the file to bring for you details. You may either want to remove it out of the computer, you may want to move it out of the computer, or you may want to have another copy of that information apart from the one which is in the computer. So moving, they'll mainly tell you burning it. So you burn it on the CD. So like you leave that program, and it even depends on the size of what you want to burn. If you're going to burn something like, let's say it's of 6 GB, maybe to a compact disk, you make sure the compact disk is compatible with a file you're going to send. Like, let's say you can't send a 6 GB file on a 4.7 gigabyte on a compact disk with 4.7 gigabytes. It has to be either 6 GB or more, like maybe let's say 12 GB when the compact disk is 12 GB. Yes, and when you're transferring that, you make sure you leave that laptop to do its role. And the other thing is that some things may have to take time. Like some things are heavy. Now, like a file of 6 GB, it's heavy. The more heavier, the more time it will take to be copied or burned. While they're more lighter, the less time it will take to copy from the computer to the compact disk.
Okay, thank you. You had you brought out wonderful submissions. One of them I've had is the space. Important. When you're transferring something from one area to another, you have to put it in consideration. Space. There were 2 more hands I saw. I saw Tumusimu, but Tumusimu I think has closed. Natasha, do you want to say something about them?
Yes, sir. On how to compare, like comparing a flash disk and a CD.
Exactly. But mainly on the method used to store data on the continue.
Sir, a flash disk you can add, erase, and modify data in real time over and over. like when you are using a blank flash disk and a blank CD. For the flash disk, you can add and then you can remove and then you can modify the data inside. But for a CD which is blank, you can only put the data once.
Okay. Sasha says, the flash disk you can put data continuously, whereas on a compact disk, how do you put data once? Okay. In the chat, Maria P says, I think you copy and paste. I think you copy and paste information from the computer to the compact disk. Okay. Members, any other suggestion on the methods used to store data, comparing the flash disk and the CD? Lumu, did you forget your hand up?
No, teacher. You were telling us to compare a flash disk and a CD. Now, a flash disk, it's something, okay, a flash disk is easily moved from one place to another, unlike a CD. And second of all, a flash disk, there are some flash disks which are water resistant, which can sustain weight conditions, while a CD, if it maybe lands in water, information can go off. A flash disk as well as a CD, you can remove information from a CD, like maybe let's say you reset the CD, then it comes back like the way it was when you first bought it. You can still do that. And even on a flash disk, you can still do that. But then flash disks last longer than CDs. And flash disks are more durable than a CD. A CD, you can just break it or you can just throw it. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Okay, Madam Beatrice. Madam Beatrice.
Yes, Mr. Charles.
Okay. I want you to give these young men and women what we want to bring out, comparing the flash disk and the CD in terms of the method used to store data over there.
Could you please come again, because I didn't get it clear actually.
You're looking, are you seeing my display?
Yes. Yes.
We are saying sometimes storage devices can be looked at in terms of the method used to store data over there. And we are saying, for example, you compare this and this. You try to demystify for these members which method the flash disk uses to store data, method the compact disk uses to store data.
Okay, thank you very much. I also want, first of all, thank the people who have contributed. I want to thank the people who have contributed. You've really done a great job.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now,
Madam,
when we look at
welcome.
thank you. Now, when we look at something to do with a flash disk and a compact disk, these are two different things, though they are all storage devices, meaning though we store information on those two things, but they're different from each other. The difference may not be too big, but there is a slight difference. Looking at the issues to do with burning data or burning a file on a CD and also sending information on the flash disk, there is a slightly small difference. And that's what I want to look at right now. To begin with, a compact disk
Madam Beatrice? Have we lost Madam Beatrice? Madam Beatrice? Okay. Then, as we are waiting for Madam Beatrice to come back, I think we need to continue. When we are storing data on a CD, Joshua talked about burning. And those of you who are
Can anyone hear me now?
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Hello. I was cut off by the network.
Okay. Madam Beatrice,
it is
we are not getting
yes.
clearly. You're breaking.
Maybe network right now. I'm getting clearly. Hello.
Hello.
Are you now getting?
No, we can't hear you.
We can't get you clearly. Madam Beatrice, are you there? Okay, let me continue and mention this. Maybe she's coming back. We mentioned that I was trying to say, those of you have used burning software. I don't know which burning software you've used. There is a variety of programs for burning CDs. Have you ever seen what happens in that process as the burning is taking place? There is a CD rotating, and there's some bit of light. There's some bit of a beam directed onto the surface of the CD as burning is taking place. So, what does that mean? Burning is through a laser beam of light. So when we talk about in terms of the method used to store data, when you store data on a CD, data is burned using data is burnt using the laser beam of. That is what we need to know. And then when we are looking at the flash drive, the flash drive has what we call flash memory. Data is stored on flash memory. And this flash memory is in form of some form of that use. So one is burnt using the laser beam. Another one uses flash memory for storage. That is what you should get. But as we're talking about storage devices in detail, in your syllabus, you will discover more. About the form of storage. Okay, let us proceed. We are saying the method of storing data on each of these devices is different. So the hard disk has a different way of storing data. The floppy disk has a different way of storing data. The flash disk has a different way. And then the compact disk also has a different way. Okay, let us go through these few questions. What is the difference between a hard copy and a soft copy? Remember, I told you I'm going to ask. What is the difference between a hard copy and a soft copy? We have some people who can give us quick answers. Yes, Sunira. Sunira.
A hard copy is tangible, while a soft copy is not tangible.
Okay. A hard copy is tangible, a soft copy is not tangible. I saw Anne Gloria. And Gloria, you can mute. Unmute yourself. Gloria, unmute. Kumusime?
Teacher, me a copy as the one that has been printed.
Now, okay, repeat again. Your network wasn't clear.
Teacher, me I think a hard copy is the one that has been printed, and then a soft copy is like the one that you've saved on your computer, which you've just typed in without printing it.
Okay. Nice answer. Ruth, any answer that is different? Ruth, any answer that is different?
A hard copy stores information in form of virtual files saved on a computer or a drive.
Okay. Benita. Benita, did I see Benita? Natasha?
So I just forgot my hand up.
Okay, fine. Let me check in the chat. Let me check in the chat. There's nothing. Someone is asking, excuse me, teacher, is it burning or banging? Burning. I think here when you go to those shops where they transfer for you videos, etc. You hear people saying, "Tugenda kusala CD." Tugenda kusala CD, something of that nature. So it is banning, not banning. Okay. Not banning. Okay. Difference between a hard copy and a soft copy. We must indicate that a hard copy is something that is printed, because we need to know the actual words that we are supposed to use. Let us not bring in any other terms, but use a hard copy as something that is printed on a piece of paper. Forget about using the word tangible. Forget about any other term. Printed. A soft copy is what, for example, what you see in me display is a soft copy. Oh, I don't even want to really use the stored work as soft copy. You might get a little bit confused. So whatever you're seeing at this material moment, when we are busy working on the computer, is what we refer to as soft copy. Because it is in a form that allows you to see something that is not printed on the physical medium, and the physical medium is the paper. So, the soft copy, first of all, what you're going to see displayed on a computer. Another point is what you're going to store on your computer. Okay, I'm seeing a hand up. Find out. I'm not seeing any hand up. Okay, we are finished. Yes, can you see me? I can see your hand there.
Teacher, your voice keeps on breaking, and some words we don't hear them clearly. It comes, the network comes, we hear properly, then sometimes it keeps on breaking.
Yes, sir.
Different circumstances, dictate that. But I think I'm now clear enough. Okay. I will repeat. A hard copy is what is printed on the physical medium, like paper, and then a soft copy is what is displayed, probably on the computer, like what you're seeing now, and then another form of a soft copy is what you're going to store in your, on your hard disk, on your flash. Like, I think we are getting that difference clearly between a hard copy and a soft copy. Because when you're using computer, when you're using devices.
Excuse me, teacher, please repeat.
Hello?
Please, teacher, repeat that statement which you have said. We are not being able to hear you.
I'm listening into my phone, and I'm hearing myself very clearly in my ear.
No, maybe
I had a
far
copy.
away. Yes.
A hard copy is what is printed on a physical medium. For example, a piece of paper. And then a soft copy is what is displayed on your computer monitor, or what is physically stored in probably your hard disk, your flash disk. That is a soft copy. What you store or what you display, which is known on the physical medium, is what we refer to as a soft copy. I hope that has been cleared well and picked clearly. Now, I have a question there. Did you get a chance to visit the computer laboratory in your school? By show of hands, how many people had their lessons in the computer laboratory? Because sometimes some of us, we are restricted to going into the laboratory because it is left for the senior candidates. Yeah? But I can see 13 people and we are 64 participants. Only 13 people visited the computer laboratory. Okay. We visited the computer. We had lessons in the computer laboratory. Those who did not get a chance of visiting the computer laboratory, why did you not visit the computer laboratory in your school? I want someone to give us a reason. Why did you not visit the computer laboratory? Because it is important. You're studying ICT and you're supposed to be exposed to the lab where training takes place. Now, are these hands for those who visited or those who did not?
Sir, those who did not.
Those who did not. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tracy. Tracy, your hand was up. Okay. Priscilla, you can unmute and tell us why you did not go to the computer lab. I even still have Natasha and Gloria, Carol Ann, Shalom. You are all saying you did not visit the computer lab. One by one, unmute and tell us, what was the reason you given for not visiting the computer lab?
Pardon?
What was the reason why you did not visit the computer laboratory?
I visited it.
Hello?
Time I visited, I forgot to put down my handbag. I forgot to put down my handbag.
So some of us didn't visit because actually ICT is like an optional subject. So some of us do not offer ICT, but we are interested in learning it since our optional subjects are not being like they're not teaching them right now. That's why we are in the lesson.
Hey. Okay, I get. I understand. Which optional subject did you take? Natasha?
So I took nutrition and food technology.
Nutrition and food technology. Anyway, in all the subjects that we are dealing with in this new curriculum of yours, whether you're taking ICT or whether you're not taking ICT, because sometimes it is the school that dictates. If they don't have enough devices and resources, they can decide to say, no, ICT is not going to be done by senior ones and senior twos. But in all our subjects, there is supposed to be a component of using ICT in our subject. Let it be fine art, let it be food and nutrition, let it be entrepreneurship. There is a component that requires you to use ICT. So at any one point in time, because many times they ask you, carry out research using the internet. Now, if they say carry out research using the internet, doesn't that automatically mean that you have to visit the computer laboratory to do more research? Probably you're not taking subsidiary, you're not taking ICT, not subsidiary ICT. Subsidiary ICT is for the A level. You're not taking ICT, but you're supposed to research, and you will research in the computer laboratory. So, can we name one device that we saw in the computer laboratory and describe how it works? Let us not go back to the devices that we have already mentioned. We have already seen the keyboard. We have already seen the mouse. We have already talked about the speakers, monitor. Is there any other device that probably you saw in the computer laboratory, that probably you saw the teacher teaching you using, and can you describe how it works? Okay, I have a few hands here. Where was the face? Where was the face? Where was the face? You can unmute. Whoever the face has unmuted, but not saying anything. Ruth, Nachimudi.
Teacher, for me, I saw some cables like the VGA and mouse cable.
Mm-hmm. The VGA cables was used for?
We use them to connect to the computer, like while assembling the computer system.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a VGA cable, as in the process of assembling, connects which device to which device? Those who can type in the chat, you can type in the chat. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I posted the registration list in the chat. I posted the registration list in the chat. Please look there. I'm going to post it again. Click on it, and then you register your presence in this lesson. Okay. In the chat, Ruth says it connects to the monitor through the VGA cable. Will connect the monitor to our system unit. Okay. Any other? Do I have any hand up? Do I have any hand up? Becky? Becky, unmute.
It connects a laptop to a projector.
It connects a projector. Okay, it also connects a projector. Okay. Any device that you saw in the computer laboratory, not a VGA cable, is what we are looking at. Davinia? 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 You can unmute. Davinia?
Say projector.
A projector. Okay. Can you explain to us, describe how you saw the projector work?
It was connected to a laptop. It is used for displaying information like to a large audience.
how did the teacher display information to you? Can you try to tell us the kind of information the teacher displayed?
He connected it to a laptop and he was
okay, yes, it is true. He connected it to a laptop. And then what was he trying to display? What was he trying to display? What was the subject about?
He was teaching us ICT in the lab.
ICT in the lab. Okay.
Then
And
he was displaying the ICT prototype.
He was displaying the ICT prototype. Okay.
Yes.
Was it interesting? Was it an interesting experience?
Yes.
Okay. Any other? Thanks. Any other? Someone has said, so when I tap on the link, it tells me to view my story. But for me, on my phone that I'm watching, when I tap on the link, it takes me to the registration, O-level lesson registration. Probably Natasha, you probably clicked on the wrong link. The last link that I've sent. Okay. Maria, please. You want to say something?
Hear me?
Beg your pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
Well, teacher, for us, we were in the computer lab and we were learning ICT, and our teacher was teaching us how to design a timetable. So he connected the projector to the laptop, and then it displayed Microsoft Word, and we were able to see clearly how to design a timetable.
So as of now, you can design the timetable for a class, a timetable for any activity.
Yes.
That's what you're telling?
Yes.
That is wonderful. Okay. Renita says, teacher, for me, when I tap, it shows that I've already filled the form and it's like a test. Anyway, but I picked this link. We use this link on a daily basis. I don't know why you're getting that information. I need to find out. Okay. It says it shows my details are wrong. I don't know why that's happening. Okay, we continue. Any other device that you saw in the laboratory, any other device that you saw in the school to do with ICT, because there are very many devices. There are very many devices. Any other? Lumu? This one?
Yes, teacher.
The
device which we had in our computer laboratory is what they call a smart board. A smart board is like in a whiteboard, but for it, its markers and what is used on it are visual. They are like not real, but you can still see writings. Now, it's like made in 3 sets. There's the computer, which connects it to the projector. The projector provides a screen. The projector provides a screen on that board, while you connect that board to the computer again. Now that board will be sensing any tap on it. Like it's like, okay, the way you say a phone, but just because this one, it's a projector that provides the screen. So we have been using it to get prototypes of different subjects. We have been using it for seeing videos of maybe some things which we don't know in subjects like biology. And the way it works, like it has colored markers which are visual, as I had said. So they are the ones which make marks on the board. And like this board, it's delicate. The only way to use it is by using it is by putting it in electricity. No permanent markers are used on it.
Okay, thank you, Rumu. Let me ask you a few questions. Let me start by asking, which school do you go to?
Bishop Cyprian Kihangiri.
Okay. Number 2, were you allowed to use that smartboard?
I'm allowed since I'm the smartboard prefect of the class.
Oh, exactly. That's what I wanted to find out. So do you allow other learners to use the smartboard?
It depends, because it would be okay, but as you know, like you can't use that board if teacher's laptop is not connected to the projector and the board itself. So if there's no teacher, children can't use it. The only time when they can use it is when they're selected maybe to draw some things of what the learners are talking about, and that is under the teacher's permission. Without that, that can't happen.
The teachers allow.
Yes.
Okay, then one thing I wanted to correct, that pen is not virtual, the digital pen. Is that okay?
Yes.
It creates a digital handwriting. And I believe you've seen that digital handwriting can be stored.
Can what?
Have you noticed that the digital handwriting that you place on the smart board can be stored?
Yes.
Now, my last question. How would you categorize that smart board?
That smart, like under inputs, outputs, communication, and processing devices.
Exactly. That is what I'm looking for.
It is placed under output devices.
Why do you place it under output devices?
Because it is bringing out something. Now, the computer itself is an input. The projector, which projects everything on the board, is an output. And since it is reflecting what it's outputting to us, it also comes an output, a smart board.
Don't you think that when we write,
yes,
that smart board, it's an input, right? Don't you think so?
Yes, but also you can write on the computer, something like that. You can also write on the computer, then there are things. Okay, it's both. It's a two-sided place. It's an output and an input.
Okay, that is what I was looking for. Because we can really, actually, this computer that is connected to the smart board via a USB cable powers up that smart board. Then that's so.
Yes, please.
It is the computer through the smart board. Sorry, it is the computer through the USB cable that powers up the smart board.
Yes.
Not so?
Yes.
Therefore, when you write on the computer screen,
yes,
nothing can appear on that smart board. Not so?
No, you can maybe type.
No.
Like,
wait. Get my question. Get my statement.
Yes.
When
Yes.
I go to the laptop screen and
Yes.
I physically start writing on the laptop screen, can I get what I'm writing onto the smart board?
But when you've just done everything on the computer, you've typed in everything.
Yeah, typing, yes.
And you've typed everything.
Yes, typing, yes, I can see. But it is not easy to do that.
Yes, it's not. You have to select someone, then you do it.
Okay, fine. Members, I want to show you what Rumu has been talking about. I want to show you what Rumu has been talking about because we need to know these devices so that we are able to identify them well. Rumu is lucky he's in a school where virtually all their classes are fitted with smart boards as a device that helps learning. So whatever you're seeing, these different images you're seeing is what Rumu is talking about, and that is a smart board. It has a lot of learning material in it. If you look at this one here, where I'm pointing, I can even try to enlarge it. You can see there is a projector at the top here, and that projector basically provides a means of display onto the whiteboard. I saw someone's hand up. Okay. Benita, your hand is up. Benita, your hand is up.
Teacher, my complaint was about the link. My complaint about the link for the forms.
Okay.
Can you get me, teacher?
Yes,
the link for the forms, when I tap the link for the forms, I filled in my details, but it shows my details are wrong. So I'm wondering, how can my details be wrong?
Why it is telling you details are wrong?
Yeah.
Personally, I've not filled that form. Okay, wait a little bit. Is this the form?
Okay. Yes, it's the form. Yes.
And then where does it tell you that you entered wrong details?
It shows my mobile number, which I filled in the mobile number which I use for everyday Zoom lessons. I filled in my email address. Then I also filled in my class. Then after I filled in my school. Then I filled in the subject attended. Then I also filled in the last question. They said, please include here any comments about the lesson or the support you need.
And then when you clicked on submit?
Oh, I clicked on submit. Then after I saw view, I clicked on view the form. It shows my details are wrong.
Okay. You had to end up submitting the form and not viewing your details because you don't have the permission to view your details. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Kayode James is asking, is it in Uganda? I think he's asking, is this school with these smart boards in Uganda? Yes. This school is in Uganda. It is called Bishop Cyprian Chehangire Senior Secondary School, and it is in Uganda. Okay. Members, any other device, and then we classify that device. Let us see whether we can see. Okay, Lumu, your hand is up once again. Your hand is up once again.
Wi-Fi router.
Wi-Fi router, okay. How do you classify a Wi-Fi router?
First of all, there are two Wi-Fi routers. The one which uses Ethernet cable and the one which uses wireless connections. Okay. So like these Wi-Fi routers, they fall under the communication devices because you can use them at times to send messages via social media and maybe to post and upload the videos maybe on YouTube.
So in your school,
yes,
what do you use the wireless router?
I will mainly use the one, okay, it's something big, like it's a 2-in-1 Wi-Fi router. We have these simple ones, like the ones which you have put on your screen, and have something, it's something like a cooker. It's okay, big, like a cooker sized. It's a cooker sized, maybe it's like a cooker. It has in DVDs, like DVDs which are mainly with the purpose of sending internet to other computers. So like I asked our lab technician why, like we always go to the labs every Wednesday, like for ICT lessons. Then I asked him most of the times when we go there, why is it that internet is not on the computers? Then he told me that this thing, like that Wi-Fi router is like 2-in-1. So if he only puts them to access internet in the evening, because most of the day that the internet is being used by the staff, and in the evening, once it's time for the computers to be used, the wireless internet is down, which is shut down. Now the wired one is down, starts being used.
So you students are only allowed to use the wired internet because you have to go to the lab. Hello?
Yes.
Do the students only use the wired internet?
We use both. We use
when do you use the wireless?
During classes, like to maybe get videos of what we are learning of in the lesson. Then the wireless, then the wired one, we don't use it because it's only, first of all, ICT students who are supposed to use it, and it's not used most of the times. We use the library.
Thank you. Lumu has given us wireless or wired routers. Let us take it as routers. They use them for communication purposes, and I've just quickly gone to the internet and pick an image, a variety of images for wireless routers. So in your school, if you find something of this nature, these ones are used to help you access. Okay, I can see Maria, please. I know your hand is up.
Teacher?
Yes.
When I was at school, I entered a competition and we were required to write our poems on a piece of paper. So after writing my poem, I took it because we were supposed to send it to a certain website. So when I went to the computer lab, they put my paper in a machine, and I think it is called a scanner, because it scanned the paper and then it was able to make it turn into soft copy.
Let us see that device. How do you categorize that device? So there you go. The device could have been any of these. Let me just click that. It looked something like that. Not so?
Yes.
How do you, which category of device does that?
I think it's an input.
It's an input.
Yes.
Because it was trying to convert
into soft
whatever
copy.
you wrote into soft copy.
Yes.
Thank you for identifying that device. Any other device members before I can close this meeting? Any other device that you make? You are doing any other activity. It doesn't necessarily need to be that you're going to the computer lab. Any other device? Okay. I think we've been able to discuss a number of devices, and I want to just bring out some of the devices that we talked about earlier on. We talked about a printer. Your school could be having any of these categories of printers. So any of these could be used in your computer lab, could be used in office where you visit the secretaries. We talked about, someone mentioned projectors, and those are the projectors. Actually, this is a device that can be used anywhere as long as there is a surface where it can display a bright and large screen for a big audience. So these are examples of cards, the keyboard, the mice, we already know. But one thing that you must know for each of these devices that we are talking about, you must know how they are used. For example, if you pick a device like that, a keyboard, you must be able to describe what is this part called, what is this part called. Okay. So you must be able to give the different divisions of the keyboard. Actually, this one is more clearer. You can look at this one. There is this division here. There is this division here. There is this other division here. Then there is a very long. So do you know all those divisions of the keyboard? And do you know the different types of keyboards that we have existing on the market? We have wired keyboards, we have wireless keyboards. When we look at the mouse, not this church mouse, hey, what is it now? I need to define things clearly here so that it doesn't bring me what I don't need. Okay. There we go. Then it will bring what I need. So you want a computer mouse. You know the different categories of mice that exist, because we have those that are using a ball underneath, and then those that are using are emitting a light to enable the mouse to move. So all these things, ideas, we need to know in as far as computer hardware is concerned. But the good thing is, are you able to categorize the device you're using into input, output, processing, storage, communication? Are you able to describe how the device functions? That is the most important thing that you must know as a computer or an ICT. If you get chance, shall talk about assembling the parts, and then also go back a little bit. How do we take care of these hardware devices? I would like to thank you for being part of this lesson, and I request someone to lead us in a closing prayer. And I request someone to lead us in a closing prayer so that we can leave this room for other people who are going to use it later on. That will come for the end. I think I need to select someone very fast. I'm seeing Elaine. Elaine, can you lead us in the closing prayer? Okay, Faith, your hand is up. Faith, your hand is up. Renita?
Okay, let's humble ourselves for a word of prayer. Oh Lord Father in heaven, I thank you so much for this lesson which we have had for ICT.
Amen.
May each and everything which we have learned, may it enter our heads and may bring it to remembrance when we're in class. Almighty Father, may you protect us and may you be with us. In Jesus' mighty name I've prayed. Amen.
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 Thank you, Renita, for leading us in that closing prayer. Please feel free to leave the room as well as leave the meeting, because there is another group that is coming. Natasha,